Selling cars in today's competitive and rapidly changing market may seem like another world compared to the good old days. Today's market is the real world, where it takes much more than just greeting the public and talking price. It takes a lot of solid information and a lot of direct one-on-one communication with each prospect as an individual who has special demands in a new car. Lynx meets the small car market demands for advanced technology, fuel and space efficiency, standard features, while also offering the full selection of comfort and convenience options that American buyers expect. Your preparations for Lynx selling success must include knowing the basic product information that's on your product and comparison video discs, and using your fax books, close-up bulletins, and other backup materials as ready references so you can quickly answer Lynx product questions to help overcome prospect objections. Part of the job is to effectively present Lynx product features and benefits in a logical and organized manner. The 6-position cell format is an excellent way to present a car, to get all the facts across to a prospect. It's a proven winner in the selling process. Another part of your job, if you're going to get a fair share of small car sales, is to land the right prospect on the right car. Until you fully qualify a prospect, you'll never know which of the small car lineup they're right for. A Lynx, an LN7, or a Capri. When you do qualify and match the prospect to the car that meets his or her driving needs, you're well on your way to the close. Today, we're going to concentrate on the Lynx and how it stacks up against some key competition. But first, you want to make sure you know the product inside out. So let's take a short 2-question quiz to see if we have some basic Lynx facts straight. Okay? Let's go. The correct answer is 1. Lynx is classed as a compact because of its interior roominess, while many of its competitors qualify only as subcompacts. Next question. The correct answer, of course, is 2, fully independent suspension. It's a technological benefit which most buyers want in a small car today. We've touched on 2 major areas of customer concern in the small car market: space efficiency and advanced technology. If you missed either product question, it's a good idea to review your Lynx product video disc. In this video disc presentation, you'll find out all about the selling advantages of the 3-door Lynx GL hatchback over the Honda Accord hatchback, the Lynx base 5-door hatchback over the 5-door Omni Horizon Miser, the Lynx GL 5-door over the Toyota Corolla 4-door sedan, as well as the GL 4-door Lynx wagon versus the 4-door Pontiac J2000 wagon. Take the time to carefully review the 4 comparison modules to arrive at a clear and concise set of Lynx selling advantages over competition, and to serve as a basis for developing your own personal small car selling strategy. One of the most critical areas of concern when selling the Lynx or any other American small car is that many people automatically think that imports have all kinds of advantages. Take the Honda Accord, for example. The current design is considered a refinement of a car that many people thought already met small car buying motives admirably. Let's look at the record and find out exactly how the Accord 3-door hatchback matches up with our Lynx GL 3-door hatchback. First of all, it's important for your prospect to understand that Lynx and Accord both have advanced technology Both have front-wheel drive, which provides traction and interior roominess benefits. A state-of-the-art transverse-mounted four-cylinder engine to maximize fuel and space efficiency, and precise and direct rack and pinion steering. Lynx and Accord both have four-wheel, fully independent suspension, which enhances roominess, but more importantly, permits each wheel to react individually to road conditions. When you've qualified a prospect as right for Lynx, anticipate the hidden objection, the myth of import technological superiority, by presenting Lynx across-the-board technological features. Make sure the prospect knows the facts. Then deal with benefits, because it's natural for a prospect to assume there'll be little or no difference in the payoff if the technology is about the same.
Well, the Lynx does have the same technology as the Accord I looked at. So I guess fuel economy, roominess and all that will be about the same too. No advantage here.
I think you'll be interested in knowing the official EPA fuel economy estimates for Lynx as compared to the Accord, which you're considering buying. Well, the Lynx fuel economy leader gives you a mileage rating of 31, and that's one better than the Accord. The highway estimate is 47, and you know that's 6 miles better than the Accord?
That's interesting, and quite an advantage. But I do know there have to be trade-offs, so there must be more room in the Accord because they did make it bigger than it used to be.
Yes, they did make the Accord bigger, and it is a bit larger than Lynx on the outside. But again, the EPA publishes official interior volume indexes, and they rate the Lynx 3-door at 101 cubic feet and the Accord at only 96 cubic feet. In fact, the EPA classifies Lynx as a compact and Accord as a subcompact. I think you're going to be very pleased with the roominess of the Lynx.
It does look roomy.
And their roominess carries through to the cargo area.
It seems like there's plenty of space for all types of cargo.
Yes, and again, more cargo space than an Accord. Lynx has about 17 cubic feet, almost 2 cubic feet more than Accord. That's about as much as these boxes. There'll be times when you'll be glad to have that extra space.
Well, with all of its technology and roominess, the Lynx must be quite expensive. Am I going to experience sticker shock?
No, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
You're right, it's not bad.
You know, the base price on this Lynx GL is actually over $900 less than an Accord. And when you comparably equip the two cars, the Lynx is still almost $400 less.
At this point, you can tell your prospect that the Lynx also has some extra standard features not available on Accord that can help reduce cost of service over the life of the car, like a self-adjusting clutch linkage and lubed for life front suspension and steering linkage. The Lynx also offers many important consumer-oriented options not available on the Accord that will give Lynx added appeal to a broader spectrum of small car prospects. For example, when a Lynx buyer selects an automatic transaxle, it incorporates the patented split torque feature that transfers most power mechanically in second and third for less power loss from slippage and enhanced highway fuel economy. The Lynx buyer who wants even sportier performance with a manual transaxle can order the Sport Close Ratio MTX. It features higher numerical gear ratios in third and fourth gears for better acceleration, with smaller steps between second and third and fourth. And the EPA fuel economy label stays the same. Lynx also offers a higher output engine with higher compression and horsepower, less restrictive muffler, tubular exhaust manifold, performance camshaft, recalibrated ATX with higher upshift speeds, or the Sport Close Ratio MTX, larger carburetor, and less restrictive air intake system. It all adds up to even more performance for the sports-minded buyer. You can also offer your prospects several important comfort and convenience options that Accord can't match. Use your video commander to step through them with me. As you can see, comparing Lynx to the Honda Accord explodes a lot of old myths about import superiority. The fact is, Lynx has many important advantages over an Accord in technology, fuel economy, roominess, cargo capacity, price, cost of service, standard features, and options. Make sure that every prospect is fully informed about these Lynx features, benefits, and advantages, so you'll sell your fair share of Lynx and other Lincoln Mercury small cars, no matter how competitive the market. Lynx, with the added dimension of a 5-door hatchback, gives you a complete car line that's fully competitive in the small car market. Let's establish some important selling advantages of the base 5-door Lynx against the domestic Omni and Horizon 5-door hatchback Miser. There are fundamental technological similarities between Lynx and the Omni Horizon. All are front-wheel drive vehicles with rack and pinion steering and transverse-mounted 4-cylinder engines. The Lynx engine, however, is the innovative compound valve hemispherical or Hemi design, which provides optimum fuel economy and maximum performance, while the Omni Horizon engine is a more conventional wedge design. You'll want to tell your prospects about this and about all of Lynx's technological advantages. This can be particularly important when you have qualified prospects as right for a base model. They'll be impressed that you're offering real value for money and not just a stripped-down price leader.
Lynx has 4-wheel, fully independent suspension, like many of your expensive road cars and imports.
What does that do for the car?
It helps absorb road shocks. All good small cars have it, like the Omni we saw.
Well, the Omni does have independent suspension up front, but not in the rear. Lynx does, and that's an important advantage. With fully independent suspension, each wheel, front and rear, can react individually to road conditions. It's a feature you'll want on a car for the 80s. Now, halogen headlamps are another advanced technology feature that you cannot get on the Omni.
What difference do halogen headlamps make? Aren't all headlamps alike?
Well, halogens provide whiter, brighter light than conventional tungsten headlamps. They're a feature often found on more expensive cars.
When you've established that Lynx leads in high technology, it's a good time to raise the subject of fuel economy. Talking about fuel economy will help you focus on Lynx's overall value for money.
You'll also find that Lynx fuel economy ranks with many cars who don't offer the same level of built-in value. Lynx EPA estimated MPG of 31 is 4 miles less than the Omni or Horizon Miser models with fuel economy calibration. However, if you equip your Lynx with an automatic, you'll get an EPA estimated MPG of 29. That's 4 miles per gallon better than an Omni or Horizon. And the highway estimate is also 4 miles better. You know, it's nice to know that you can get such good fuel economy on a Lynx and still get the added convenience of an automatic.
That's good mileage, all right, but I'm just as interested in price. Now, we've checked around, and I know we can afford the Miser.
Well, I think you're going to be pleased to know that you can have this Lynx with all its extra built-in features for about the same money. See, the Lynx base price is actually within $3 of a Miser and within $46 when comparably equipped. Also, if you order certain options on Lynx, you receive selected options at no charge. Plus, Lynx offers a lot of features Miser can't match, like a maintenance-free battery, a self-adjusting clutch linkage, and a cargo area cover.
That's interesting, and it sounds like a good buy. But how about room inside the car? So many of today's small cars are so cramped inside.
Well, that's not true of Lynx. Come on, I'll show you. The official EPA Interior Volume Index rates the Lynx 5-door at 101 cubic feet, the Omni Horizon at 100 cubic feet. In fact, why don't you hop in? Try it for yourself. Lynx has some important dimensional advantages that add to your comfort. Over 2 inches more rear seat legroom, for example. Now, let me show you something. This business card is about 2 inches wide. See what would happen if we took this much space away?
Yes, that would make quite a difference.
You know, Lynx also has a bit more rear seat hip room and more headroom, front and rear. Come on, I want to show you something else. Lynx has efficient package engineering that really pays off in roominess benefits you'll appreciate. When it comes to cargo area, Lynx, with almost 17 cubic feet of cargo space, exceeds Omni and Horizon by about 1 cubic foot. That's the size of an extra bag of groceries. You'll find option offerings about the same, but when it comes to Lynx mechanical options, well, there are plenty of differences under here. Differences Omni and Horizon just can't match.
At this point, you can tell your prospects about the Lynx split torque automatic transaxle, the Sport close ratio manual transaxle, and higher output engine. With this kind of added option flexibility, you can appeal to the tastes and needs of the broadest range of small car prospects. And that gives you extra ways to control the selling process. Lynx has demonstrated some decisive advantages over representative domestic competition. Now let's make a comparison with a top-selling import and find out how the Toyota Corolla Deluxe 4-door sedan matches up with our Lynx GL 5-door hatchback. Here you have a real opportunity to concentrate on Lynx technological advantages over the competition and the payoff in customer benefits. Let's assume that you've qualified your prospects. In this case, a father and his adult daughter. The daughter is an immediate prospect, the father possibly a later prospect. And based on their current car needs, or what they tell you, you've determined that they're considering a Corolla.
I'd like to tell you about some of Lynx's advanced technology and what it'll do for you.
Well, we really don't want an engineering lecture. We just like to get some facts on fuel economy, for example.
Oh, yes, sir. I understand that, and that's a big consideration these days. But the official EPA rating for Lynx show its mileage rating is an excellent 31 EPA estimated MPG, 3 miles better than the Corolla. And Lynx highway estimate is 8 miles better than Corolla. If you select an automatic transmission, the difference in Lynx favor is also substantial. An EPA estimated MPG advantage of 2 miles per gallon and 9 miles per gallon highway.
That's hard to believe. How do you account for that kind of advantage over an import?
Well, one good reason is Lynx advanced technology. You see, Lynx is a front-wheel drive car with power from the engine transferred through a transaxle to drive the wheels up front. There's no long drive shaft carrying the power to the rear, taking up space in the rear, like you find in a Corolla. Lynx also has the innovative compound valve hemispheric engine. This design means better fuel combustion efficiency. A Corolla has a more conventional wedge chamber engine. Lynx also has the drivability advantage of precise and direct rack and pinion steering, while Corolla does not. In fact, Lynx puts extra value everywhere. Halogen headlamps, for example. Now, halogens provide a whiter, brighter light than conventional headlamps. You can't get them on Corolla at any cost. You can order them as options on some other cars, but it'll cost about $30.
Okay, but my daughter wants a small car with plenty of room. We liked all the room we saw in a Corolla. Though I admit, it looks like that's a lot of room in there too.
In that case, let me give you some more official EPA figures. The EPA Interior Volume Index proves that the Lynx has quite a bit more room than the Corolla. A total of 101 cubic feet. Well, that's about 10 cubic feet more than Corolla. Also, the EPA classifies Lynx as a compact and Corolla as a subcompact. Now, Lynx has more headroom in the front and rear, more shoulder, hip, and leg room. In fact, 5.5 inches more leg room. And you know how important that is to rear seat passengers.
I suppose the fact that there's no drive shaft tunnel running the length of the car has something to do with that.
Well, you're absolutely right. You see, Lynx mounts the engine crosswise in the compartment, as opposed to lengthwise as it is in the Corolla. That just wastes valuable people space. Another factor, Lynx fully independent suspension. No axles or beams to take up valuable space in the rear of the car. It also means that every wheel, front or rear, can react to road conditions individually. A Corolla doesn't have independent suspension in the rear, only up front.
Based upon what you've said and what we've seen, Lynx will hold a lot more cargo than you can get in a Corolla trunk.
That's right, and Lynx has hatchback versatility. Go ahead, open it up. Lynx holds about 17 cubic feet of cargo. That's almost 5.5 cubic feet more than Corolla. That's about this much more cargo. Lynx doesn't short you on the important things.
When you've established good, solid Lynx benefits and advantages, it's not a bad time to come to grips with price. With all those advantages, Lynx GL is base priced within $550 of the Corolla sedan. Comparably equipped, it's within $770. You can readily overcome this price difference by reaffirming Lynx benefits and advantages in the critical value for money areas of fuel economy, advanced technology, roominess, and cargo capacity. You also have a strong leverage with no charge options under the Rapid Spec discount program to provide prospects with some extra savings. And when talking total cost of ownership, there's a potential annual savings of $108 on insurance, based on all states' comparative rates for standard collision with $100 deductible and full comprehensive coverage. An important item in any prospect's car budget. In addition, with Lynx, you also have the advantage of a broader selection of options that provide benefits not available on a Corolla. Step through them with me using your video commander. With all of these feature and option advantages, Lynx will help sell itself, but only after you fully present the car and its benefits during a thorough demonstration drive. It's up to you to sell the Lynx effectively and objectively, so every prospect will have an equal opportunity to perceive it as a better buy than the competition. With the Lynx GL four-door liftgate station wagon, you have an entry designed to maintain our traditional strength in the wagon market. To determine just how firm our position is in the small station wagon market, let's compare the Lynx GL four-door wagon to a GM J-Car, the Pontiac J2000 four-door station wagon. The Pontiac J2000 is a larger wagon, more than 10 inches longer than Lynx, with basic similarities in technology. Both have front-wheel drive, transverse-mounted four-cylinder engines, and rack and pinion steering. But there are important technological differences. For example, the Lynx 1.6-liter engine is the advanced CVH compound valve hemispherical design with the power-efficient hemispherical head chamber. The J2000's 1.8-liter engine is a more conventional wedge chamber design. Lynx, of course, has four-wheel, fully independent suspension that allows both the front and rear wheels to individually step over bumps. The J2000, on the other hand, has an independent front suspension, but the rear suspension is only semi-independent. The two rear wheels are actually connected. With those differences in mind, let's look at the technology payoff in terms of fuel and space efficiency. Facts you'll want to have in mind when dealing with small wagon prospects. The Lynx wagon, with its efficient CVH engine, has an EPA estimated MPG of 28. That's 2 miles better than the J2000. And the Lynx highway estimate of 44 miles per gallon is also 1 better than J2000. For prospects who prefer an automatic, the Lynx has an EPA estimated MPG of 29. That's 4 miles better than the J2000. Lynx has the numbers that will impress any prospect when you're selling against a J car.
You know, when it comes to interior roominess, this Lynx wagon is outstanding.
But the J2000 is about 10 inches longer than the Lynx.
True, the J2000 is longer on the outside, but the two wagons have virtually the same interior dimensions. Well, there's plenty of room for 4 full-size adults to ride in full comfort in the Lynx. In fact, the Lynx has about 2 more inches of leg room in the rear. Extremely important when you have 2 adults riding in the back.
Well, there's plenty of room for passengers, but how much cargo can this wagon...
Come on, I'll show you. Lynx has a generous 26